Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and today I am sharing with you a couple of the really good books that I read in January. First things first is I finally got a tripod that holds my phone, so I no longer have this huge stack of books there, and which I wasn't reading because I was using them as my tripod and it was the perfect height, and if I moved one of them I had to find ones that, yep, it was a whole thing. So I finally have a tripod, and yes, I'm excited to actually read those books now so that they can go onto my shelves. That would be great because they've been there for ages. I didn't really feel like doing a wrap up this month. I read 20 books in January and I just didn't really feel like filming a whole video on them. I'm sure I will talk about them at some point. There are a couple of them that are going to be in videos for different things through the year, and yes, you've seen some of them in book hauls already and whatnot. So instead I thought I would talk about 5 books that I read that I really liked. I read all of these while I was away, and we're just going to get started with the first one, which is actually an ebook that I borrowed. Percy's found something to play with. So I read Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. I did not expect to pick this up, let alone enjoy it, but I saw it on my library's ebook website the night before I went away, and I was just like, you know what, I've heard so many people talk about it, I will just borrow it and I will see how I feel about it. And then I actually ended up really loving it. I read it on the plane, so I was flying to London from Melbourne, and we had a stopover in Perth, which is kind of strange, but that was my only stopover, and so that's a like 3-4 hour trip depending on the plane and the weather and all that sort of stuff. And I ended up reading it and finishing it in that time, and it was just really great. I just really enjoyed it. Definitely not the sort of thing that I thought I would like, and I'm starting to realize that I can enjoy that kind of book as long as it's written in an interesting way. In a way, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Celestine. And I just really enjoyed it. So there's that one. Moving on, the next one that I've read that I want to talk about is A Sky Painted Gold by Laura Wood, which I kind of have to hold it this way to get it. This is a book about this 17-year-old girl. She lives in Cornwall. She's lived there her whole life. Her older sister has just gotten married, and they were always kind of a pair. And she's kind of, like, what am I gonna do now? And then this really glamorous brother and sister move to her town and take up the old country home that belongs to their family. And no one's lived in it for like years, and our main character, Lou, has kind of been sneaking into the house and reading the Agatha Christie novels in there. And it sort of leads her into becoming friends with them. And they throw all these really glamorous parties, very Gatsby-esque. Though this one isn't nearly as depressing in tone. It was just a really fun read and I really enjoyed it, and I haven't really read any historical YA for ages, so it was really nice to get back into one. Next, I talked about I mean, I talked about all of these in my book haul, but these next two in particular. So I have Bloodlust and Bonnets by Emily McGovern. I mentioned in that haul that I really loved this book. It's a graphic novel, and it's basically about vampires and Lord Byron. Like, Lord Byron is a vampire hunter, and he's terrible at it because it's Byron. But this is just so much fun. It is completely ridiculous and just beautifully odd. Emily McGovern is the creator of My Life as a Background Slytherin, which as a Slytherin I love. But this was just, it was just so much fun, and I would highly recommend it. It reminds me a little bit of Noelle Stevenson's Nimona. So if you're into that kind of fun, silly kind of thing, this was really great. Straight after that one, I picked up I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, which was a complete shift of tone. This one is about our main character, Angel, who loves this band called The Ark, and she's a complete fangirl for them. She's part of the fandom, and this is kind of about her experiences going to see them live for the first time. And we also get the perspective of Jimmy, who is one of the guys in the band. And it's just really amazing. It's emotional, and it's also, I think what I love the most is because it's Alice Oseman, and she's 25, I think she's a few months older than me. It's a great book about what it's like to be a teenager and to feel lost, but it also doesn't demean teenagers in any way. It doesn't make fun of the fandom, but it also critiques it in a way, and it was just a beautiful book. So always love a good Oseman, would recommend her to anyone. Finally, we have Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. This is a book about our main character, Eva, who is a dancer, but her parents really want her to become a doctor. And they sent her off to Taipei to go to this kind of summer camp-esque sort of thing. And when she gets there, she realizes that it's kind of there isn't a whole lot of adult supervision, and it's kind of a little bit of, they kind of blurbed it as being kind of Crazy Rich Asians. It kind of has a few of those elements, but it is still kind of I guess in the same way that Crazy Rich Asians talks about more than just partying and that sort of rich lifestyle. This does also have some serious elements in it as well. But it is also just a really sweet book, and a lot about finding yourself, and just that confusing time where she's finished high school and she's looking into colleges, and obviously the experience here in Australia is different to how the US college system works, but I could understand how she was feeling and how all the characters are feeling, how they feel very confused and they're not sure really what they want to do, and it's such a huge decision to make so young. But I thought it was dealt with really well. This is the first book in a series. I'm not quite sure where the series is going to go. This one literally just came out in January. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a sequel, or if it's going to be some companion novels, but either way, I think this will be one to watch. so there we go. Those are the ones that I wanted to talk to you all about today. I hope you're all doing super well, and I will see you on Wednesday. I think I'm going to be talking about the Stellar list, which was announced Thursday, but I wanted to give myself a little bit of time to mull over the list, and yeah, I'll be talking about some of my thoughts about it then. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Now I'm getting my days confused. Thanks for watching. Bye.